What's running through my head is honestly nothing. You'll hear the crowd when you salute, and the second you get on the bars, everything goes silent. And then you land and you hear it again.
So she started, was 6 years old.
6 years old.
She took like a mommy and me class when she was really young and didn't want anything to do with it. And then right around the age of 6 said, I want to learn how to do a cartwheel.
You know, she would tell me, she looks different than everybody. The coaches are telling me that she's different.
I will tell you a moment that's like, oh gosh, like an aha, she's made it moment, is every little girl says, I want to be an Olympian or I want to be an elite gymnast if they start in the sport of gymnastics. So it's pretty neat when your child's the reason that you're traveling internationally to go do something.
At 2023 Worlds, seeing all the other countries was just surreal. Competing in Turkey was obviously very different because it's not individualized. You're competing for Team USA.
It was just surreal, like for them to announce Team USA, to see the team run out and have your daughter be a part of that team to represent our country. It's like everything that you've worked for and all the sacrifices that you've made as a family all coming to fruition in one single moment.
Okay, this is like a full-on workout. I'm gonna walk to you. Okay. I can walk! So that day, I was actually working a new skill on beam. And I jumped off the beam, and I looked around, and I start sitting down, and they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I don't know what just happened. It felt like my foot was detached. Like I could not have walked if I tried. Got in the car, we went to the ER, and we found out that I needed surgery, and honestly, I was just mentally preparing for what I had ahead of me, and I realized that my year was probably not going to end the way I wanted to, but there's always next year.
The rehab process for an athlete can be challenging. Early on, you're dealing with this potential loss of identity.
It's pretty disheartening when one of your athletes gets hurt. You're worried about her physically first to make sure she's okay, but then once you know that she's going to be fine and we'll get her back to her prior level, you do want to always check on them mentally.
In sport of gymnastics, the feet and ankles are huge. The body's having to endure, 10 to 15 times body weight. They're having to endure, 100 to 200 impacts per session.
No one prepared me for the fact that I had to learn how to walk again, how to stand again.
I remember Mike telling us at one point, okay, she's gonna get out of this boot. And I was like, oh great, so like what's the return to play? Like she'll be back in the gym doing a cartwheel. And Mike's like, no, like we have to teach her how to like stand on her foot. So the time concept to me was very lost. And so I suppose 5.5 months being out competing was crazy. I didn't realize it, but it's just a testament to who Izzy is and her determination.
So this type of injury, we usually see someone being out for about 9 to 12 months. So Izzy's was in, I believe, December, and then she was back to it as far as spring.
I've worked with Izzy now the last 2 to 3 years off and on for a variety of injuries. Injuries happen, the injury rates are real high in the sport of gymnastics, but it's great to have that relationship, having a relationship with coach, with parents, with athlete. They have a relationship that they can come back to, provider and a center that they trust to get her back and that understands her goals and knows where she needs to get.
Mike definitely helped me a lot. At first, when I was going back to PT, I was just confused. I've always been like a very athletic person, And when I was struggling to just stand, I was like, okay, what is happening right now?
So the neat thing about Mike as a PT is that he mirrors Isabel in the sense that his desire to excel at what he does is very similar to her desire to excel in her sport.
All right, one more. Everything you got. Good. Go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stick. Good. Good. I like it. Numbers look good.
You can never force someone to have an investment in you, and the fact that he wanted to is just amazing because no one asked him to do that. He took time out of his own workday to learn more about me and the sport of gymnastics. You will not see that often at all.
We have stayed with NovaCare because of their dedication to our athletes.
She's such a positive person. She's such a hard worker that there was never any doubt that she would get back to where she wanted to get.
A lot of people need at least 2 months to decide they want to compete, but I looked at Mike and I was like, if you can get me to running 1 week before I need to compete, then I'll be able to compete at all, and that's exactly what he did.
As she's going out and competing for the first time in 5 months post-surgery, right, pins in her ankle, I was a nervous wreck. Just simply because, like, it's not about her being successful at the events, it was about her making it through and being healthy.
I just felt so grateful. I would say the one term to describe this year was grateful. I didn't even expect to be there, and when I was just super proud.
For me as a clinician to see the success that she had is just happiness for her mom, for her coaches. But as a clinician, it gives you confidence that if you have a plan and you have someone that's going to work the plan, that you can get a good outcome.
NovaCare has done so much for me. They have helped me to be the healthiest version of myself, and I've been through so much change, but they have always been a constant, and I'm so, like, I couldn't imagine my life without them at this point.